perfect.
It's my lovely assistant, Emma.
Hey, Emma, how are you?
She can't hear you. You're in my head.
My
Yes.
bad. Okay.
Give him a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Emma.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome aboard. We already have a lot of people watching, by the way.
Go that way a little. Yes. We'll bring her in when needed. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to keep the headset on because I'm in the factory and it's going to be loud if I don't.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. We're
How's
live.
the sound?
Yeah, we're
How's
good.
the sound on your side? Good. All right.
We're good.
Okay.
By the way, we're live.
I got you.
Okay,
Let's go. Come on.
Let's ride.
I am a live wire.
I know. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome aboard, THP Universe. This is JDax. I am joined by Mike Yagley with Cobra Puma Golf.
Everyone, hello.
Hello. I wanted to take a moment. I appreciate everyone that's either going to watch this later on, that submitted questions into the forum, which we'll get to Q&A here in a second. What we're going to do today, we're going to introduce Mike. You're going to tell us like what you do, all the cool stuff that you do there for Cobra Puma Golf. We're going to talk Morgan Cup because it's Morgan Cup week. It's Morgan Cup week, right? It's time.
Bring it on.
Just bring it. I'm wearing
nice shirt.
A shirt that says "Just Bring It." Pretty cool Puma hat. And we're going to answer some questions. We had a ton of questions teed up, and we're also taking live questions. So, without any further ado, Yags, what do you do? What is your job at Cobra Puma Golf?
That's a great. So you asked what I do. I lead the finest innovation team on the planet in golf. Probably top 5 innovation teams in all flipping industries. So I've got a bunch of engineers, mostly mechanical, all very creative, great problem solvers, great teammates, and we are responsible for creating innovations. And when I say that, it could be materials, and we don't do material science per se. We work with material vendors, but let's say someone comes to us and says, we've got a lighter carbon fiber or a lighter titanium or a more lively steel. We take that and we prototype it. And it could be in a driver, could be the frame of the driver if it's titanium, or the face, or carbon fiber in the crown, all the way through fairways, hybrids, irons, wedges, putters. We're constantly looking at new materials to make either something more resilient, more durable, feel better. Those are probably the big ones from a material standpoint. Okay. And when I say resilient, I'm talking about faster. Save weight so we could move mass around where we want to. So that's the material part of it. And then we just invent stuff like better mousetraps. Could be something that gives you more ball speed, gives you less spin, gives you more spin if you need it, gives you better feel. Different types of weighting systems so we can move weight around effectively. Better aerodynamics, especially with drivers. So we're constantly looking for things that will make a golf club better. And specifically like the head. And as I said, better could be all sorts of things. Speed, feel, resilience, better launch angle and spin rate. And we deliver that to my buddy Jose Miraflor,
right?
The other assistant ass captain. Yeah. We'll speak of him today.
We'll talk about him.
He leads the product management team. So he's looking at, the future, like what do we want to do with these innovations? How do we want to talk about them? We're also delivering those innovations to our design group, which takes it and turns it into like a real golf club, because we typically are working with prototypes. Those are our primary customers. And we're working right now anywhere from 2 to, I'd say, 8 years out on new stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you and Jose, I guess one of the questions would be, are you going to be playing this weekend with the same clubs that the teams are playing, or are y'all showing up with anything redacted in your bag?
Mostly what the teams are playing.
Okay.
Since Mr. Fowler was captured playing a new iron that's not supposed to come out until next year, I asked Hose, and he said, I'm okay with it. You might see a new iron in my bag. Yes.
Oh, Okay, look, THP Universe, you've heard it here first. So we need to be, I guess we need to be careful when we take pictures around whatever cart you're in.
Yeah, I'd appreciate
Yeah,
that because hose would be all over me.
right,
It's
absolutely.
it's it's still under what we call embargo, which means we're not supposed to talk about it, and the media's not supposed to talk about it until we say embargo's up. But hose was kind enough, and I asked the team, I asked you guys, you okay if I play something that you can't play? And everybody's like, heck yes.
Yeah, we want we
Yeah,
want we want to see it. So
yeah.
I mean, before I mean, a lot of the questions. Let me just skip to it.
Hmm.
So what is? I mean, I know that you're not going to be able to tell us about what's redacted, but can you tell us what's in your bag? Because I mean, that's the first question everyone asks. What is in their bags? So what are you playing
Yeah,
with
I
this
play
weekend?
a lot of stock stuff. We
Okay.
have access to what the tour players are playing and weird stuff, but our stock product's really good. So I have an LTDX
Hmm.
set at 10.5. What's a 10.5 plus a degree and a half because I am spin challenged. I need more spin
More
almost
spin.
at all times. I was blessed with high launch, low spin, so I can use those high lofted drivers.
There you go.
And I have a 5 wood LTDX that I put a 3 wood shaft in because again, spin challenged. I can use low or high lofted clubs, and I also have a 7 wood in the bag LTDX also. And then I go to, you know what? Honestly, I might have 2 clubs that no one's seen. I may have a utility iron that
That's
has not
redacted.
been. That's redacted. Yeah,
Okay, just
yeah.
use the. That's what
I
we're
I
gonna
use
roll
that.
with.
I use that as a driving iron. It used to be
Okay.
a F9 4 iron, and Hose
Okay.
looked at me and he's like, "You got to get that out of the bag. Get it out." But I love it, Hose. I love that thing. I can pound it off the tee. So I went to a utility iron,
Okay.
redacted, and
Redacted.
then a redacted set of irons, 5 iron
Okay.
through gap wedge, and then non-redacted raw wedges, a
Okay.
58 and a 54, and then a Stingray 40 putter. And I'm loving all of
I
them right
like
now.
that. I like that. I went with the wad sport.
Yep.
So you know we'll see how it goes, but the last couple weekends it's been a little bit better. I think I'm rounding into form. Speaking of gear, I'm sort of consolidating some questions because
Yeah. Enough about me.
golf.
Let's talk.
Yeah. So speaking of gear, let's talk about this year's lineup, right?
Mhm.
What was the most surprising thing from this year's club lineup? If you look at what we ordered, the players, no one. Were you surprised that no one took the LTDX irons? Like everyone went Forge Tech or Forge Tech X.
No, I'm not. I'm not surprised because
Okay.
those 2 irons are so good. Now, if we didn't have a Forge Tech X, then I would have expected a couple of LTDXs in there.
Okay.
Just honestly, yeah, because we made the X just a little bit bigger, a little stronger lofted than the Tech, and because of that, it is a great game improvement iron.
Yeah,
It's
I love them.
phenomenal. Yeah,
I love
yeah,
the I love the I took the Forge Tech X's.
yep.
You know, almost to a man. We saw a lot of regular. I took the regular LTDX driver, but we saw a lot of the low spin version. Did that surprise you any with all of the LSs that got taken?
It did in the beginning, but then as the year progressed, talking to you guys and talking to a lot of our fitters and better customers, I'm going to back up for just a second. We launch a product and we really believe we know how it's going to behave out in the wild,
Hmm.
but you never know what you're going to get. And that LS, we knew it was good, um, but we also know the competition's good. And we know the competition's stiff. But that dang driver is really, really good. And I'll tell you, um, might have to redact this,
Okay,
but the
we're
club
live.
champion guys were in,
Hmm.
and of the 23 fitters that we talked to, 15 of them put an LTDX LS in the bag, and they have to
Wow,
buy their drivers.
that's
And they
true.
flat out told us this, like, we can't beat your driver with any of the competitors. Redacted, but you can list them all right there. They said, can't beat the LTDX LS. Can't do it. So we're going to put it in the bag. So we knew it was good, but
y'all knew it was good, but y'all didn't really know it was gonna
be that good. Be great.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think the regular is the best driver I've ever owned. Right, like and I don't have the LS, and I came from. I'm not going to mention the other OEMs drivers that I spent years playing, and I usually had played the Sub-Zero version of their driver. I just gave it away, didn't I? Okay, but anyway,
did,
I digress. My bad.
That's okay.
But I like the regular LTD X. Also, one more equipment question before we sort of talk Morgan Cup a little bit, and then get to some more. No one for the first time in a long time for this Morgan Cup took one length. Do you feel like that's sort of indicative of sort of the one length's market share? Do you think that one length has hit a peak, or do you think that y'all will continue to make one length and it will continue to gain share in the market?
All right. I will say it was an aberration this year because we were severely supply constrained, as were pretty much all OEMs, and we were really severely supply constrained with one length clubs in particular. So it was kind of a self-fulfilling thing for us. We couldn't get them. We just couldn't get enough of them. We actually didn't get them till like mid-year or later, and even then we couldn't get enough of them. So
wow, did not know that.
I'm gonna say this year was like an aberration, and we'll look at it next year. If you took this year out of the mix, one link was doing fine. This year was like 30% of the sales, 25-30% of the sales is what I've been told for the product lines that had one length in them, and it works. We have seen with retailers that, especially retailers that give like a demo opportunity, so they get fit for the 7-iron, which is the length of the clubs. So that dials in, I like the head, I like the feel of it, I like the shaft. So if they were given a 5-iron and a 9-iron to go out and play, the closure rate was super high. But not all of our customers do that. So you might see us push on one length a little bit harder because we know for the people that it works for, it works really well. The return rates are incredibly low. This year was just kind of a bad deal for one length.
So, as someone that used to like moonlight at a Dick's in the golf department, when y'all launched the F8 one length, y'all sent the full set. So you got a full set of the variable length F8s or F9s, one of them, and then you also got the full set of the one lengths, and we sold a ton that year where we had the full demo set. So if you're talking to whoever you need to talk to, maybe that's part of this. I think that should be part of the strategy moving forward.
Yeah, we agree with you, and hopefully this next year we can put more of those out there, assuming we're not supply constrained. Because it's hit it, believe it.
Right,
hit it, see it, believe it. Yeah, it works.
Because most people you're just going to hit a 7-iron when you go into a big box store, right? But if you can hand someone a 5-iron out of that one length set, and they can see, well, no, I can still launch it in the right window, and it's still going to carry the same way. It goes a long way.
Because we did some things. Okay, if I'm going to go off just for a second, we did some things because if you just took a normal 5-iron and put a 7-iron shaft in it, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
The head is going to be too light. It's not going to feel right. You're going to lose too much club head speed because of it. But if you put a Cobra LTDX 5-iron on the end of that 7-iron shaft, you're going to find that the weight is right. We actually made the sole a little bit wider, lowered the CG to get the ball up in the air a little bit better. So the physics of a progressive 5-iron with a 7-iron shaft in it is not good. The physics of a one-length 5-iron on a 7-iron length is actually really good. We get back almost all of the distance loss caused by the club head speed decrease when you go with the shorter shaft through just better physics in the head. That's why they work.
You want to know my least favorite thing about when Bryson would win when I worked in golf retail?
Yes, I want to know.
Okay, so my least favorite thing would be the people that would walk in with their 4, 5, and 6 iron and ask me to cut them to the
That's
length
just
of
bad,
their 7 iron.
juju. Yeah.
And you would have to
We
explain to them that you don't want to do this. You
No,
really don't want to do
no,
this.
you really don't. You really don't. It is amazing how now in this particular case it's not subtle, but sometimes a couple grams can make a huge difference, but we're talking 20 grams, 25
Yes.
grams. That makes a massive difference. It's just a bad idea. We got the same request. As soon as it happened, we had people ordering sets through custom and we had to put a kibosh on us. Like, don't do that. Don't
Mm-mm.
modify us a what's supposed to be a progressive length set of golf clubs and turn it into one length. Really bad idea.
That is a bad
Yeah.
idea. Last question before we leave this like one link thing? We're not going to bring
Yeah.
it back up.
It's all right.
Do you see where people could be ordering mixed sets? Do you see a benefit for people to order like maybe the 4 through 7 or 4 through 8 in one length, and then the rest of the way 9 to gap wedge in variable length?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. And I would, for someone who's like struggling with a 6, 5, maybe even a 4 iron, but they still want them in the bag, I would totally do that. And honestly, when we first sat down in a room about 20 feet from here, that was one of the very first set configurations we drew on the board. We're like, make the long irons through the 7, maybe even the 8, one length, and then progress after that. And honestly, since Bryson was playing a one length full set of irons, the marketing people, the sales people, all the bosses have said, no, it's going to be one length. Yeah. So we called it the
Okay.
hockey stick. Yeah. So it's a great
Okay.
idea. I love your
Okay.
idea.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe I'll go with that
You're
next year.
you're progressive. Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the Morgan Cup. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
You and I went on this like this club tangent, and said I'm a gearhead too, so I apologize to the THP Universe because I'm like fascinated about these
It's
types of things. Um, you've played in every Morgan Cup in its current iteration, with as Cobra being the sponsor.
yes.
Um, 2017 Hackers wins. 2018 that was Hammock Beach. Paradise wins. 2019 Hag Point, awesome place. Canadan, shout out to you if you're out there. Hackers wins. Um, and the Hackers hasn't won since 2020, 2021. Both of them in Vegas. Um, it's been rough for the home team, right?
Yeah.
If you go back, since you've seen all of them, what do you have any memories of the Morgan Cup that stick out? I mean, for you, like what makes it special for you?
That's a great question. You know, not to get all sappy, but just seeing everyone have a really good time, win or lose, um, seeing guys go out there and just grind it out and really enjoy the competition. The It's really like 3 days because we get in a day early,
Mm-hmm.
um, knock it around a little bit beforehand, but just watching them go at it and a little bit of John, um, a lot of good golf, a lot of guys sitting around afterwards just reveling not just on their own shots, but like what their teammates did and what their competitors did, and remembering it like they did it. It it's just really, really enjoyable. I've said this every year, and I mean it. This is my favorite. Call it 4 or 5 days with travel of the year by far. Like there's no comparison.
Is it a thing like which team wins? I mean, around the office, is it does it become a thing?
It does,
Okay.
and I'm sure Hose probably hears the same thing. But I get a lot of people going, man, I really want you to win. Like Yagley, go out there and win. Come on. Um, yeah, there's enough people now that know about it and follow it, and they see Hose and I kind of going at it beforehand and after. And there could be an occasional cabana boy, which means
Mhm.
you're in a meeting, and I could little look at Hose and go, I'm a little parched. I could use a Coca-Cola. and he has to go get a Coca-Cola, bring it into the meeting, and say, "Shh, isn't that refreshing?" Now, we haven't been able to do a lot of that because honestly, with COVID, we weren't in the office. And you can see I'm sitting in the tour shop.
Yeah.
It's because our offices are being gutted right now. We're bursting at the seams in terms of number of people per square foot. So we're remodeling the whole office area, and we're working from home again. So
I'm loving to hearing about y'all expanding that. Like
yeah,
I think
oh yeah.
that's super cool.
We have like 21 open recs right now. So if people are looking for a good job in the golf industry, go to cobragolf.com, go to the bottom of the page and look for employment opportunities.
You
I'm
know,
not kidding you.
someone in the live chat did ask whether or not y'all were hiring. So
Oh yeah.
I can skip that question. That there is the
Yeah.
answer. I mean, I think that you know, for me, I've watched everyone. Like, I think when you ask a lot of THPers, like everything that THP does is first class. Like every experience is first
It,
class. But when you talk to people, you ask them like, what brought you here? What did you start following THP? What was the first thing that hooked you? The answer a lot of times, and it's my answer too, is the Morgan Cup. Everyone loves it. And
that's cool.
so, you know, this year's a little bit different for me, right? I mean, I used to be able to sit at home, usually about
You're,
Thursday night. I'm
you're
like,
in it, dude.
I know, I'm dogging people's pairing selections. I'm hearing it from
Hey,
them
no
later
dog.
on.
You're the
Um,
dog.
I know this time it's a little different because it's my pairing
Yeah.
selections that may get scrutinized come Thursday night. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get together with the guys. And I think the thing about the Morgan Cup is that there is a competitive element, but it's the true meaning of it transcends the competition. But
Yeah.
the competition, it gets so much play because it's the one thing that's relatable to everyone at home, right? Everyone
Yeah.
has competed in a little thing. So I think that
Yeah.
when do pairings come out? I know that Jeremy and I have turned them in. So
Okay.
Greg, there was one of the questions in the chat asked me.
Gotcha.
We have turned them in. I think that they'll go live. I think you'll see them on Wednesday. I do believe the
Gotcha.
preview show without me in it. Shameless plug. I talk. Well, no. I mean, like, what? Yags, what was I going to go on the preview show and do this year? I like us in every match. Like,
Yeah.
what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I love what Captain JDax did here with the with this grouping,
Going
right?
third person.
Right.
Yeah, that guy's dude, he's a brilliant strategic guy. I got to throw one more thing in there too,
Yeah.
because my brain went to the competition, and I in my head when you asked the question, I replayed so many shots and so many moments, and watching guys hit shots and hole out bunker shots and hole out chip shots and make long putts, and also yak on their shoes and hit really crappy shots. But another thing that I really, really enjoy is when we get to sit down, and I think we do it Saturday night. We'll spend like an hour or two, you know, in the cone of silence, just talking about the business and golf clubs and tour players. And everyone understands that we're in the cone of silence. And Hose and I will just let it rip. And it's really fun. It, for me, selfishly, I get so much out of it because I get to see an unfiltered response to sometimes crazy ideas. Um, heck, marketing strategies, business strategies, product strategies. It's really fun. And we don't get to do that all the time. Actually, I only get to do that once a year with guys like you.
And that's why it's your favorite moment, I
Yeah,
guess, right?
hell yes, by far.
So I'm not going to steal the, you know, that we did get some Morgan Cup question. Let's move on to
Mhm.
Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm not going to steal the thunder. I mean, I did talk. I mean, obviously, I talked to a literate called me today. Obviously, he's trying to do his show prep, trying to, you know, get information out of me. But we did get some questions like overarching about the team. So
Mhm. You take that one,
I'll
Captain.
take these. So
Yeah.
Um, someone asked, "What is the team's biggest strength this year?" I think that it's this team, Team Hackers, is very balanced. If you look at it on paper, and you'll probably see this in the preview post, it's a very balanced lineup. A lot of diverse backgrounds here. We have a Canadian player, we have a Scottish player to go along with the rest of the American. It's an international coalition of the willing, if you will, to put an end to this this paradise like onslaught. Like, I mean, we're the resistance and they're the empire, right? So we have this international coalition to try to end that. I think that's the biggest strength, that there's some balance on this team and it's diverse. The other question came in: what format suits the team best? I think that singles is the format that probably favors us a little bit more than the other team. And what is your biggest strength going on this Morgan Cup? I really think the team is bought in, right? Like, I mean, you and I have kept it pretty simple. We kept it pretty free. Of course, we want to win, just like anyone else. But we have a mission to have fun while doing that, and I think that the team is sort of bought into what we've been trying to sell. So we'll find out in a couple of days if the plan works, right?
Yeah, I like you're keeping it simple. Golf, man, we're strange creatures and we can overcomplicate things, and golf doesn't need to be overcomplicated. So yeah, keeping it simple is huge.
Right. So let me
And I'm gonna
go while you're
no, I was
talking.
gonna
I'm going to start keying
yep,
up some questions to put on the
yeah,
screen.
get
Go
some
ahead and talk.
questions. So
Yeah.
one other thing too, it's like, you know, I, I like winning, but I've told the guys I really hate losing. I actually hate losing more than I like winning. And it's not because I watch the other team like rub it in or trash talk or anything like that. I just hate to lose. And winning doesn't make me want to trash talk or rub it in or anything like that. I like winning, but man, and losing. All right, losing that little rat 3 times. Oh, jeez, Louise, because he rubs it in a little.
Does
Yeah.
he?
Oh
Does
yeah.
he?
Oh hell yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot. Obviously, Paradise has taken over the chat here.
Let's go.
But yeah, I mean, I think that they're, yeah, I mean, she's
I
someone
don't
asked
have the
if,
chat up. Go ahead.
yeah, you could probably see it. We do have a house divided. It looks like Marjorie Hibbler is rooting for Paradise, while David Hibbler is rooting for Hackers. That's
It's like,
that's another thing that's weird, right? So, um, like, even people that have never played in the Morgan Cup, like on the
yep.
forum, they have a team. They have a team. They have, like, there's Hackers people, there's Paradise people
Yep.
on the forum, and they're gonna root for us anyway. What is the what just happened there? Does he know that we're
I
live?
have to laugh. Did you see that primate walk through there?
Yes, I did.
That's Ben Showman, our head of Pro Tour. It's a live stream with the Hackers Paradise guys. Yeah, tens of thousands of people on YouTube. Do you want to say hi?
Hey, how are you? Yes. Um, let's see. Is that a Loft and Law machine behind you? Oh no. Did we lose audio there?
I'm
Okay, I
here.
got you. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So
What kind of Loft and Law machine is that behind you, Yags?
that one, I don't know. One's the Mitchell and my glasses on. Hey, Jammer, the one on the right is a Mitchell. What's the brand of that one, Emma? The left, yeah, the blue one. That one's new. I think we may have MR Golf Design.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got a Mitchell and MR Golf Design. The one over there is for putters. That one is for irons. And I was just checking the Loft and Line my irons a little while ago.
Really?
Yes.
Just was
Yes.
any last
Yeah.
second adjustments before you
On my wedges, because I had Hose. He's such a good dude. He ground his grind into my 58, and then he said, "You better check the Loft and Lie just in case." And God bless him, it was off a little bit. He didn't do that, but through manhandling it.
sabotage, trying to
Yeah, no.
sabotage.
So yeah, everything was spot on. I'm ready to go.
So little known fact, while we're
Yes.
mentioning Hose, Your Morgan Cup singles record is better than his. You've never
Isn't
lost
that
a
it?
match.
Isn't that interesting?
That is
I know.
interesting. You've never lost a match. He
Because
has.
everybody talks about the big hose, and
Hmm.
yeah, let's leave it at that. Yep.
Scooby wants to know. You already mentioned that you're hiring. You have 20
Yeah.
open recs out there. So Scoob,
Scoop, go to the website,
right. If you want in,
cobragolf.com. Yep. We are
um,
hiring operations people, sales people. I think we still need a couple people in R&D. A lot more sales ops people. Yeah. And there's e-com, marketing. There's a lot of openings. And actually, you know what? There might only be like 9 posted right now. There's going to be more posted. So
really,
get in there. Yes.
I love how y'all are.
Yeah.
Y'all are. I'm just scrolling through the comments. Okay, let me go to the
Yeah. Come
form.
on. Let's get some
So,
questions going here.
do you have a preference like in cloud spun versus matter?
You're talking to me?
Yeah. Well,
I'd say
it's one
cloud
of
spun. I'd
it
say
was one
cloud spun.
it's
It's
one
pretty
of
damn
the
nice. Yeah.
it's one of the questions that
Yeah.
that
That's
we
a good
got.
question.
I prefer cloud spun.
Yeah,
Someone
I do.
asked, are I think you got us out of this. We're not wearing red shorts this year, right?
Gosh. I gave the Puma people no. And
Okay.
actually in the chat I said hell no. If you look at that. They said, "Oh yeah, they're red." I said, "No, they're not." On the website I'm like, "That's not red, that's pink." And they come on, I'm like, "Dude, it's pink." Who picked that? Some colorblind Puma golf guy?
What is your favorite format? Shamble, alternate shot, singles. What is your favorite format?
Man, I don't mean this in a selfish way. I really don't. But singles. It's
Okay.
just singles because because I think a lot of it is there isn't the pressure of someone else depending on you. It is just you. Hit the ball. I think that's
Um,
why. I think I enjoy the camaraderie of the other formats a lot better.
but you like playing singles.
I like playing singles. Yeah.
So are you still using Vice balls? This
I
came up
am.
in the
Yep.
in the thread.
Yeah,
All
Vice
right.
Pro Soft. Nothing
Okay.
against the rest of the competition. I just can't look down at brand X, Y, or Z and play it. I just can't do it. Yeah.
Do y'all think that y'all would start making balls?
We've thought about it several times and we think about it a lot because that would complete our product offering. But the golf ball business is brutal, just brutal. Yeah. And
Somebody.
unless you own your factory,
Right.
it's tough. Yeah. Are you
Um.
getting an echo?
No.
Are you not?
Not.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Because I believe my daughter Emma has the phone over there and she's
She's
watching this
watching
now.
YouTube. Okay. Okay.
We got one more follower.
We got one more. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
come here.
we're not wearing
Come here.
khaki either, right?
Come here. See? Look at
Hey,
how
Emma,
cute is
how are
this?
you? We're
No,
not
we're
wearing
not.
khaki either.
No,
Okay, good.
no, 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 no.
Whew.
We're nice solid colors. There might be some stripes in there on the shirts that I was okay with. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I
more of
mean,
a solid guy, but you're not going to see me in big flowery prints.
and we are going to wear red on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. There'll be some red in the outfit for sure. I'm
got
sorry,
it.
in the script.
In the
It's a
scripting,
script.
in the
Yes.
scripting, you've
Yes.
seen the scripting. It's been
I have.
I have also,
Yeah.
unless
Yes.
they changed it,
And
I've also seen
you approved it.
the scripting, and it's phenomenal. I did push back on the pink shorts,
Oh, I wasn't
because
there. It wasn't happening.
my wife pushed back on those shorts pretty hard. LDax, shout out to her.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mr. and Mrs. Yeah. It wasn't
you
getting past me, by the way. Wasn't
right,
happening.
right.
Yeah.
You've met my wife.
Yeah.
She did
Yeah.
not like those shorts at
Yeah.
all, man. She was
Wasn't
like,
getting past
no,
her
we're
either.
not.
No way.
What
No.
another question from the forum? What part of your bag are you most confident in? Drivers, woods, irons, wedges, or putter?
Right now, driver. I'm probably kiss of death, right? I'm just striping it. I hit a bad shot and it's on the edge of the fairway. Now I say that we'll see what happens in the next 5 days.
Just keep those thoughts, babe.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
keep
I
those
know,
thoughts.
I know. Yeah,
Um,
it's fun, and the
I
irons
I
are
will
phenomenal.
also
Yeah.
say the driver is probably the best driver I've played. No
Thank
doubt.
you.
I'm not just saying that.
I got it. Thank you.
And I love these irons. Now we had to make some modifications. Remember we had to bend mine weak to get
Mhm.
to get it to gap right.
Yep.
But once we did that, it's looking good. Let's talk, if you don't mind answering like a redacted question because it's come up. What part of the future sort of stuff that y'all are working on are you most excited for? I mean, you don't have to tell us exactly, but like, is there something out there that, man, y'all pay attention to this when it comes out?
Yes. I got to figure out how I can answer this without getting my ass chewed.
Don't do anything that gets
Um,
you in trouble.
yeah.
I'm just trying to,
Yeah.
being fair to the question people.
There's some stuff that is going to be in Bryson and Kyle's bag specifically over the next couple of years that are it's really really good, like remarkable. You all of you know it's hard to scrape a little bit of performance out of something. It's hard. You got CT
Mhm.
limits, you got MOI limits, you've got other things that constrain you, durability and feel, and heck, cost even, right? So
Right.
all those things are boxing you in. So it's hard to find multiple yards. Well, we found it. And I'm super excited for what's going to roll out the next couple of years.
Let me ask you a question. This is more related to wedges. It comes from the forum.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from a designer standpoint, do you miss the U grooves or are you happy with the V?
Good Lord. My wife calls me a fence rider, and I'm going to
Okay.
say yes to both. I miss the U for the average player because they can spin it more. For an accomplished player, I think I heard a lot of tour players saying the U was interesting, but it it would spin too much at times. Oh, thank you.
So
And the
this,
yeah, Ben just walked by again. You may recognize him. He carried Bryson's clubs and Ricky's clubs. He was the guy with the mullet. You're like, who's that guy carrying
oh,
his clubs? Yeah. He's also the guy that said when Bryson went, this driver sucks. He's the guy that goes, yeah, sometimes he's like an 8-year-old. That's
uh,
Ben. He's our urban legend. Yeah.
that's
He's a hero
awesome.
around here. Yeah. Um, so I think if you looked at the data, there wasn't much difference in what tour players were doing between the U and the V. There just wasn't. And I'm almost positive their proximity to hole got closer with the V because it just performed more consistently for them.
So
And
this,
the only one who suffered, only ones,
mhm,
were the average player. The
yes.
USGA caused a whole big ruckus and didn't do squat for tour players. It hurt the average player. So I miss it for the average player. The U,
Um,
that is. Yeah.
the how many years away is this phenomenal thing that you're talking about? Nice.
Um, the big step function,
Yeah.
you'll see some of it this next year. Big step function is probably a year and a half out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, we did get a question on your opinion about live golf.
Yes,
Do you have an opinion on live golf? I
I
don't want to
do.
put you on the spot.
I do.
Can
It's
you
okay. You know
share?
what? No. We have been
Okay.
told flat out, don't even talk about it.
Okay.
Um,
Moving right on.
we're going to support our players wherever they're playing. Okay. I'll leave it at that for right now.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask you in the
At
circle
at
of
at the Morgan Cup, I'll have lots to say.
circle of trust. How many?
Yes. Ben just added 3 more words to it. Actually, remember, it's 2 words. We support players, not tours.
Got it.
There you go.
Got it. Awesome answer. Awesome answer.
Yes. Give him a thumbs up, Ben. See,
Ben, thank you. Um,
he's a good dude.
how many have you ever had protein shakes with Bryson? Is a question that
Yes.
we got. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's mine? Oh, mine's at my desk. We do actually have a small office area, so I'm pounding the protein shakes right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is also like segueing. I went back and looked, Yags. This is the
Mm-hmm.
lowest. You're coming into this Morgan Cup at like what, 5.5?
Yeah.
That's the lowest you've been in a Morgan Cup.
Okay.
How are you feeling? You feeling good? right? I mean, you're feeling great about this.
Really, really good. Um, just like any other golfer, it comes and goes. I played this weekend and I looked like not a tour player, not even a mini tour player. I looked like a scratch player for like the first 8 holes. And then I didn't look like a scratch player for the next like 6 holes. And then I looked okay again. And I shot my low 80s like I would normally. But there's moments where it's really coming together. So I feel really good about it right now. I love, 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 love. I can't be any more clear about this. I love match play for that reason. There's, I whizzed away 2 doubles and a triple. Match play, who cares?
Right.
I don't give a crap.
Move
Let's
on to the
go.
next hole.
Yeah.
Move on to the next
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
Is Jose a 6.2 like last? No, I don't think so. I think he's lower.
No, he's down. Look, isn't he like a 3-4?
3. I think he turned in like 3.5.
3.5.
He turned in like 3.5.
So when I was chopping on Saturday, he went to Torrey North and shot like 76, I think. So the little rat is geared up. It doesn't matter. That guy could have a broken leg, play with one eye, and somehow he's going to grind it out.
I have the utmost respect for the rat.
You should. I do. He's a good dude. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
Fire some more questions. There was one. I got to answer this one, and I think it was El Chico. Who wrote? Who? It was. Is there one? El Chino. Yeah. Is there one do-over? One do-over.
So I mean, I guess is there something that? Well, I mean, is there a do-over? Right. I mean, if you had to have one do-over, what would it be?
Yeah, I think he meant in your bag this year.
Yeah.
Right, and you answered it. I want to hear your answer.
Yeah,
because
the one thing that I would change is that I may have taken a 5-wood instead of that 3 hybrid.
I tried to talk. Just saying, parenthetically, mumbling underneath you. I tried to warn you guys.
I know.
Fairway, high lofted fairway woods, baby. They work.
Right. That's the only thing, because the what I found is that the LTDX hybrids are so long that there's a little bit of redundancy between the 19 and the 22 or 21 or whatever. Like, I probably shouldn't have taken a 3 and a 4. I probably should have taken 5-wood.
Yep.
If I had to do one do-over and that's it. Yeah. The wedges have been surprisingly phenomenal. I've never played a Cobra wedge in my life. Love them, especially the 58 wide low, which is such a good club, such a a good grind. Josh made a comment on his show, the Worst Golf Podcast, last week, when he was talking about wedges, and maybe I should ask you, like, are y'all considering offering more sort of grind selections? Because it seems like there's a perception between like the quality of the wedge and how many options there were to buy them, right? From a loft and a grind standpoint. Are you considering offering more? Because right now I think there was 3.
Yeah, we're always considering everything about all products, but wedges is tough too, because you got to have a minimum amount of offerings in order to attract I was going to say flies. You need the honey, the flowers to attract the flies and the other critters out there that love pretty things, and wedges at work in this case. So yeah, we're always considering it. That's a great question for hose, because we're gearing up for, at this point, honestly, 2026 now. We're 2 years out. Yeah. We got 2025 almost defined. Yeah.
Can you tell us what the call sign is for these clubs? Like, I know that y'all use, I don't think this is like a secret because it's out there. It's been out there. Y'all use call signs, right?
Yeah.
The call signs for the Forge Tech irons was Iceman, right? The Forge Tech X's were Iceman, right? So y'all used, I'll use Top Gun call signs or code names.
We did.
Can you tell us what the call signs are on what you're working on right now?
I can. So the ones that are redacted in my bag are Vipers. I love that name. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Stayed with Top Gun, right? Y'all stayed with the Top Gun. Yeah.
But then we stayed with it for a while because you run out, right? You just run out of names. We used video game characters for a long time. So we have Merlin that's in the queue. Charlie. I'm trying to think if we used.
Like when you
Yeah.
were here in Nashville, I
Yeah.
mentioned using Charlie in the
Yeah.
tech studio.
Charlie's in there.
Okay,
Oh
good.
yeah. Yeah. And then we're moving from Top Gun into Fast and Furious. So
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Did
You
y'all ever
might hear
use
some of
Cougar?
those. I don't think we did. We should have.
Yeah, who's up there? Cougar and Merlin and Maverick and
Yeah.
Goose.
Yeah. We used Goose.
Yeah, y'all use Goose. You
Yeah,
told me
Goose.
that.
That was a wedge. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so my one redo, when I saw that question, I wasn't even thinking Morgan Cup because I love my bag. There isn't a club in my bag that I don't love right now, and there's nothing I would trade out. Mine was in the time I was here, is there a club that I wish we could redo? And it
Do you
was
have an answer to that?
instantaneous. Oh, hell yes. It was instantaneous.
Which one?
Oddly enough, it was the Long Tom. So we brought that thing out,
Yeah.
48-inch driver,
Yeah.
and there were several of us, because I was in research at the time. It wasn't even innovation. I was doing research and testing. And we were like, the center of gravity is way too high. It's going to spin too much. We've got to get it down. Got to get it down. And there were a few in the company that lived through a few CGs that were too low, but it wasn't the center of gravity that was too low. It was a loft that was too low. Because now when this starts, it's come out over the past decade, right? You want low spin, but you don't want low launch. So you got to have launch and low spin.
Right.
And this thing was going to be a rocket ship, but we couldn't get everyone to buy into much lower CG. And so it, for a lot of players, just kind of spun too much. For the players that it worked for, it worked really, really well. So that'd be one of the redos. Is like, dang, we had one chance to launch a 48-inch driver and do it really well, and CG should have been lower.
A couple more questions that have come in.
Yeah.
The sensors.
Yep.
Are they going to come back? Was this a supply chain thing on the sensors this year where they were hard to get within the grips? Or
Yeah, that was a supply chain thing. So I'll go backwards in your questioning. Yes, it was a supply chain thing. And it was just like you saw in almost every sophisticated electronic device across the globe during COVID. We could not get enough chips, just couldn't get them. And so Arcos could only get enough chips to do screw-in sensors for everyone. They couldn't do embedded sensors in all of ours, Pings, and TaylorMade's. As I just mentioned, the other two companies that are doing it. So we all had to go to screw-in. And it's not my favorite solution. It still works. I much prefer the sensor in the grip. This next year we're going to continue to offer the screw-in, aftermarket screw-in. Yes.
Aftermarket screw-in. Got it.
Yeah, it's a great system. It's awesome.
Question from the forum.
Yes.
How do you are the shafts of your Morgan Cup set? How do you go about choosing shafts? I mean, are you a stock shaft type of guy, or do you do extensive testing and go with shafts that way?
A little bit of both. I've started many times with stock shafts because here's what happens. We have to get sets built for media. Could be Golf Digest, Golf Magazine, the Hacker's Paradise. You know, anybody that's going to visit or they want to test stuff, and I generally get those because we'll build stock sets for them. And let's say in the very beginning we have a limited number of sets. We got 10 sets, and we got to kind of pass them around, clean them up, and we're all using them. So I use a stock shaft, and I'll do that for a couple of months. And then I'll go talk to Brandon Dickinson, who works out at Encinitas Ranch. That's where our tour trailer sits, and he'll fit me. And the stock shafts are fine. I play fine with them. But then he'll fit me into something. I'm like, ooh, that's a little better. Like, that's a little tighter. That's a little longer. That dude can find something for everyone. I don't care who you are. I take the best fit tour player on the planet. I swear, if he goes down, works with Brandon, he's going to walk away and go, wow, he found that. He found something for me. So finding something for me is not a problem.
Got it.
5 handicap. Yeah. So and that's super fun. Yeah.
We had the fewest shaft changes of any recent Morgan Cup.
Yeah.
I only changed
Yeah.
one. I know for a fact. I think that. I mean, I think Scooby was counting them up, but I only changed one. I only changed the 3-wood shaft. And I don't think there was that
Gotcha.
many. There was I put a helium in that 3-wood, and it
Yep.
that was a mistake. But I got it corrected with a
Gotcha.
link key. So we got a couple minutes left, like a couple minutes
Yeah.
before we cut it loose.
Did we get to all the
I think
questions?
yes, I believe that we have.
And I'll do this too. If there are more that you want answered, you can just cut and paste them into that thread, and I'll do my best at answering some of those.
Yeah. So so let me just thanks for everyone joining us.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are going to watch later on, so because not everyone can make it, this is Morgan Cup week. Starts on the live update thread. Will probably go live on Wednesday. There will be a contest. We're going to do our best of bringing you along for the ride. And when you vote, root for the good guys. Team Hackers, right?
Come
And
on.
this man, and this look at this guy's. We're gonna bring this. We're gonna attempt to bring this home.
We're gonna bring it.
We're gonna bring this home for Master Yags. I just want to say a big thank you to Cobra, and Puma Golf, and you in particular. I wouldn't be here. You picked me to try to help you bring this thing
Handpicked. Heck yes.
Yes, and I'm gonna. I think that I've done a decent job. We'll find out on Sunday how decent it is. But I just wanted to say it's been an honor and a privilege spending this year talking to you, being treated like a tour player. There's many times where we had to make small tweaks to my situation, whether or not it was weights. That I tested almost every weight combination in the 3-wood. Right, remember that whole like and it ended up being the shaft. Like I don't even think it was the weights that were the problem, but I tested everything before I pulled that shaft out. It's been an awesome experience, and I can't wait to see you coming up. This I guess I'll see you on Friday, and then or Thursday night, and I appreciate the forum jumping along, and we will be seeing y'all soon. Thanks for playing, guys.
Say wait, bye.
Bye, Emma.
Hey,
bye.
I want to echo your sentiment there. I mean, I've said it. I'm so excited to be there this week and can hardly wait to see everyone, and really appreciate everyone who follows along and gives their reflections, their insights, gives their jabs and their love. It's all fun. So bring it on, everybody, all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We're going to have a blast.
We're going to have a blast. I'll see y'all soon. And Emma, wave bye to everyone.
Wave
she can't hear me.
No, she can't. You're in my head.
Bye, guys.
Take care.